Let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to talk about how whatever your discipline can help you naturally raise your testosterone, your human growth hormone, and make your penis bigger. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. All right, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, of course tell some friends. Make sure you give me that Arthur Fonzarelli thumbs up like so I say hey, and of course like Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa says hey, I hear no bell. So make sure you're ringing the bell, and also make sure you follow me on my social media. I go by Jesus_Detroit on my Instagram, Snapchat of YOUNGDAYGO. And that's right, we're talking about how whatever you're saying, whatever your discipline is going to help change and help you manifest the best. Because you know what we're all about here in the BCC, the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective. We'll help you manifest a bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder penis. Help you naturally raise your HGH and your testosterone. I'm a spiritual guide and a mentor here to expand your mind and increase your size. So without further ado, I'm here to tell you about saying whatever. And yes, that's a powerful thing that you can essentially say at any point in the day is whatever. And I know it might sound, whatever, but I mean, what it all comes down to is getting out of your own way of your discipline. Because, if you're somebody that's, adamant about either going to work, going to the gym, whatever you got to do to make you be you, boo-boo, that's what you got to be. But sometimes the best thing that you can do in my philosophy is get out of your own way, which is why I do the Wu-Wei flow, that Tao practice, path of least resistance, the, not doing anything in a particular order, just doing things as they come and just, being more aware of how to enjoy the day. But when we're talking about saying whatever today, it all comes down to what you believe. And like Rocky Balboa says, nothing's real unless you believe in yourself. So when we're talking about your beliefs of, what you got to do to help manifest muscle and how to, what kind of diet you got to be on, what kind of regimen you got to have, what kind of exercises you got to do to be able to make that huge piece of meat, swing at the knees, drop to the pecs, making you your best. You know what we're all about here. I mean, of course, those techniques that I got manifested through me, we're talking super Kegel, super edging, super jelking, and of course, a whole bunch of ongoing and growing exercises that are manifested through me. We're talking about working out with cock rings on. I got, different ones for different occasions and different ways to help me with my manifestation, to help bring out the best. And just to tell you is that there's more than one way to do this. And the number one thing you got to do essentially is believe that it's all possible. Because me, I say all truths are true. You just got to find the ones to make you. And I don't discredit science, but I don't discredit magic. And when we're talking about going with the scientific route, you can really trip yourself up, especially when you're going with exercises and diets, and people that are going to talk, well, I'm in ketosis and these are my macros and blah 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 blah, all that stuff. Like I said, man, it's like, it could choke you up. And that kind of thing could, throw you down, and that's no good. I mean, essentially, you're your own worst critic. You're your own worst enemy when it comes to that. And, like Cypher says, Ralph Cifaretto from The Sopranos, Cypher from The Matrix, what he says is ignorance is bliss. I had to throw that. Me, I'm a movie buff. And we're talking about ignorance being bliss. It's about, being able to appreciate the feeling. And certain people, like when they first begin to work out, you might see it with, newbies or, whoever. Like they might get on the Stairmaster for the first time and be like, this is really toning up my legs. I really feel this. And it's like, that's the attitude you gotta have. I mean, essentially, you gotta believe what you feel. Because if you're just going on it day in and day out, just because you know that you have to get the end result, that's one way. But if you're feeling it the whole way, then you're doing more in that moment than you could be by, by just repeatedly doing it. You're just putting your belief into the science, which I said, I agree with. That's a beautiful way of going about it. But essentially, with the whatever flow is, it's about getting out of your own way letting it go to grow. And this way you're not tripped up on you know, so many different methods, because you're practicing a whole new method in a sense. Because when you're a disciplined person, like, you know, wanting to get to the gym every day is going to be something that, you know, you're going to want to just do it. It just becomes part of you, just like, you know, going to work in the morning or whatever you got, like whatever makes you, you know, like you got to go out and get the newspaper, get a coffee, do what, you know what I'm saying. You get what I'm going with. And when it comes down to is getting out of your way, understanding that essentially you're doing something for yourself every day anyways, and that's what you really got to start getting into tune. You got to get in tune with that and believe that you're doing that, and essentially you're going to be, you know, manifesting the best. And what it all comes down to is, like, you know what I'm coming with, man, you know, the mind and muscle connection, because it's the mind that puts on the size. And if you can entertain that idea and understand that some of the greats out there, we're talking Arnold and we're talking bodybuilders alike, you know, and of course they believe, you know, scientific facts as well. But like when we're going with the whole ignorance is bliss thing, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, think about, while you're thinking about that, think about this. Back in the day when, let's say, steroids first came into existence, you know, now you got so many different ways to go about it. And like there's this, you take Tren, there's Androgen, there's Deca, there's so many different kinds that you can add to the mix, right? And there's an abundance of people out there that can really tell you how to manifest the best with them. Rich Piana, may he rest in peace, was one of the best to tell you about, you know, HGH and steroids and all that. And now, you know, he's a beautiful man for that. And there's a whole bunch of beautiful people out there to teach you how to utilize these tools. But you know, I feel that when they first came out, there was, you know, the being in that whatever mode of just knowing these things make my muscles bigger. I feel like that is more you know, that's more beneficial than being like, well, when you start taking testosterone, it takes 3 weeks in order to kick into your system, and and it's like, when you follow it like that, it's like, you know, you're gonna, like, I feel that it's your mind that's gonna make it real. And when we're talking about the mind and muscle connection and manifesting the muscle and putting the size on and all that, we're talking about getting out of your own way. And you know what it's all coming down to anyways, man. You know how I gotta start this up? You know what I'm doing? I'm gonna just give me a quick pump, because I might as well just show you while I be rambling like a monkey in a tree. The mind and muscle connection, showing you that there's always possible to grab a pump at any given time. It doesn't matter how you're feeling, how I'm feeling beautiful, feeling huge. I can always grab me a beautiful pump at any given time, because energy is always there. It's always in the air. You can always feel it. Like Paramahansa Yogananda says, the one that brought yoga to the West, the one that says the mind is the wielder of muscle. It's your mind that's creating this beautiful avatar that you have. So you might as well believe that philosophy and understand that when you're feeling yourself grow, you're growing. You're getting out of your own way. You don't have to go the scientific route or whatever, but when you're inflating your muscles and you're feeling it expand, that is the way to the grow. And when we're talking about beautiful mantras to just kind of lock in the growth and keep it on your mind to help you increase your size, we're talking about some of my favorite rhymes, like I am magic, I am divine, and the universe is on my side. That's something you could just say at any given time in the day. And of course, just beautiful mantras when you're holding planks out, as I'm so happy and grateful that my huge beautiful muscles are growing bigger, harder, stronger, more defined, abundantly. And for the penis, I am so happy and grateful that my huge beautiful penis is growing bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder, abundantly. And then of course, when you gotta get one last rep out, you go ahead and you scream and you shout, or at least feel it in your head. Just feel the growth, feel it explode, and just go ahead and scream it out and say, I am magic, I am divine, and I can increase my size. Oh yeah, feel it getting huge, getting big, getting lit. 2020, let's go, let's grow, let's flow. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. I'm right here, Detroit, Rock City, wintertime, naked in a chair, and I'm sweating. Just I'm virile right now, man. I'm dripping sweat just from grabbing a pump out of the air. And that's essentially what you could do at any given time. And when you're going to the gym, that's what you got to put into your workouts. And of course, like I said, whatever anyways. And for that, let's say so. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And of course, whatever you're putting in your body, always be on the side of good, no matter what you're doing. This is benefiting. This benefits me. I believe it does. I believe that there's, that beer is good for your muscles. And of course, there's so many different people that can believe otherwise. What's good for me isn't good for you. That's why I say you find what works for you. And to me, this is something like a reward system in a sense, but it's something that I don't let it trip me up. Because I don't want to drink so many of those that I can't be 100% me tomorrow. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way I feel about alcohol in general. I don't consider beer and wine a spirit, but of course, like tequila and vodka and all that. And I got my philosophy of how I feel that alcohol is like a bridge. And, essentially everybody's got, how long you can dance on the bridge is really, your own ability and your own practice dancing. And like I say, man, eventually the bridge is going to run out. You're going to be like Arnold in True Lies yelling to Jamie Lee Curtis, "The bridge is out!" That's what we're talking about. I mean, like, that's why alcohol to me is a bridge. And, essentially, when you have beers on that bridge, that's a long bridge for me. And for some other people, it might be a short bridge. But regardless, it's about finding your own balance and moderation. And any way that's, bringing you down, no good. That's where you got to evaluate, and, scrap what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And that's why the whatever philosophy is something that can really help you out. And you could really, you could start to see, is this my belief or is this somebody else's belief? Does this work for me or is that somebody else telling me this works for me? That's why you are your own creator in this. You are the one that's going to tell you, like, you know what? This is what's up. This is what's going for me. And I'm going to appreciate what I got. And every single day, you know me, I got a shot today. So every single day, before I wake up, before my feet hit the ground, go ahead and take this breath with me. I got a shot today. I feel beautiful because gratitude is the attitude. Every single day you got to give, appreciation that you woke up today, that you got a breath in your lungs, man. That's a beautiful thing. Always be in the gratitude attitude, the zone of receiving, because that's how you get the grow going. You're going to appreciate everything that you're doing, essentially. And that's really what it comes down to, because if you're putting yourself down for, not going to the gym, or you weren't able to do this, or you ate something that you didn't want to eat today because, it wasn't in your macros, this, that, or the other, or you're really trying to change your diet, whatever it all comes down to, it's like, you got to just be like, you know what? I'm not gonna punish myself, and there's no need for that. And I know that might sound like you're coddling or whatever, but regardless, you got to be able to, bring yourself up. And one of the most profound things I said the other day, I'm at a grocery store, and the lady, I'm in my bathrobe, of course, and I'm talking to this lady. She's like, man, you're out here in a bathrobe, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, now don't get sick now, and I'm like, I told her, I'm like, that's all in your head. I'm like, and people are laughing, and of course, like, you look like Jesus, and I already felt that I raised up the vibration just by being in that moment. And what it all came down to was, I'm like, this is what, like, the thing that I said is, if you ain't got anything nice to say about yourself, forget about it. And that's what I told them. They're like, you know what, I'm going to try that, because if you're just going to sit there and be talking about how bad you feel, I mean, that's no good, because what's real is how you feel. And if you're going to go around telling yourself that you're always feeling down, then what do you think it's going to do? It's going to keep you there and beat you to your knees if you let it. You, me, and nobody's going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how it is done. All right, so you know me, man, about to break into that Sylvester Stallone. It's always getting me going. And, you know, like I say, man, the smile is divine. It's made inside the mind. And, of course, you know, like, you know, you can listen to a whole bunch of holistic gurus that tell you don't watch TV, don't scroll Instagram, and if you're not making money on Instagram, you shouldn't be on Instagram. Instagram's like my business, it's my business. Like, look, everybody's got a right to happiness, and if you're scrolling down the gram, watching some type of comedy on TV is making you smile, then you are doing something right. But if it's taking you out of the moment and making you judge your life, that's where you got to evaluate and be like, you know what, then this is no good for me. But if you're watching something and it's making you smile, it's doing something beautiful. For that, I say salute. And of course, you know, I've been going down the holistic rabbit hole for quite some time now, and there's that whole theory like you don't want to watch the news because the news is no good for you. But you know what? I find that actually the morning news is actually quite entertaining. You know, Fox 2 News Detroit. You know what I mean? You gotta give credit where credit's due, because it's not all, you know, gunshots and you know, of course that's all in there. You know what I mean? Like in robberies and that kind of thing. But I notice that more at like the 10 o'clock. The 6 o'clock, like the nighttime news is usually where all that comes into play. But when you're talking about like the 9 and like the daytime like news, it's not bad. Like this is stuff that's gonna be played at a doctor's office, and you know, right before Wendy Williams and whatever. But you know what I'm getting at. You know how you doing. But what I'm talking about is essentially, like, it's not as bad as everybody's making it out to be, and you are your own worst enemy for that. So if you think watching the news is gonna be making you feel like anything, you know, it's gonna make you feel depressed, and of course it's gonna do that. But at the same time, you know, there's actually some positive things on there. You could, you know, there might be a comedian that shows up in the morning. They might be talking about a new movie. They might be talking about, you know, I actually learned a couple recipes off there, believe it or not. And like, you know, there's some beautiful things that are meant to be learned. So it's all about your perspective and your way of taking it in. And that's why I really feel that the whatever way is something to help you get out of your own way. So go ahead and say whatever today. Don't stress out so much about how something's got to be done. I got to do this many sets to feel this type of workout. I got to get to the gym at this time every day. I mean, of course, you got to hold your accountability, and you can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot. That's right, Mr. Larson. Of course, you got to hold your accountability and go to the gym and your own discipline. And, you know, of course, that's going to be, you know, part of your new self-image, because going to the gym and that kind of thing is part of, you know, what your manifestation, you know, reflects. And we're going with that. Excuse me. We're talking about going to the gym and having that part of your, you know, your new lifestyle, your new body, your new, you know, whatever. You're going to understand that it's not as, you know, it wasn't as important as you made it out to be. And I know that sounds crazy or whatever, but I mean, it's just more or less that once you get to where you're headed, you don't have to like, you know, freak out so much if you're taking a different road from the path that you were traveling, because the road's ongoing, and we're always on growing. And when we're talking about, you know, something as simple as, you know, you got to your manifestation, you made some muscle, you don't have to be like, so, oh my God, I got to do it like this, otherwise it won't happen. It's like, you know what, you got to get out of your own way and understand that you are growing, you are showing, and there's something that you can do every single day to make it right. And like I said, you know, essentially you can work out at home. You can work out, you know, in your mind before going to bed. And like I said, like, you know, entering the construct is a video that, you know, I've been, you know, putting up here, and it's talking about before you go to, you know, sleep at night, when you're in that theta beta microwave, you know, the be right before you pass out at night. And you know me, man, I'm a vivid dreamer. When I go to sleep at night, I battle it out in the astral realms. You know me, I'm dripping that DMT, Joe Rogan, and I ain't got to snort for it, jab a vein for it. All I got to do is sleep, and I'm battling it out in the astral realms. And I understand that, you know, your dreams are, you know, part of what is releasing HGH anyways, because if you're seeing those swiggles and stuff, that's your growth hormone. That's the pituitary gland right back there. We're talking about the chakra system. We're talking about the crown up there. We're talking about love, baby. You know me. Gotta share my favorite matrix hack every single time. Don't forget the penis is on the root chakra, man. This is all beyond the body. This stuff goes in the other realms. It's part of our whole system here of what's manifesting, the muscle, the size. And we're talking about increasing what we got. It's about putting everything into it and getting out of your own way. So like I say, well, you know, when you're going out there today, you got to make sure you're spreading love. Make sure you're keeping that mind clear, man, because if you want beauty to appear, you got to keep it clear. You got to be a clear conduit for growth. And when you're going out there today and you see somebody across from you at the gym, across from you at the grocery store, traffic, wherever, somebody comes across your mind on the phone or just wherever you happen to be, just intend on that person, that soul, have a beautiful day, to feel love in some kind of way, and you go along your day and you just hack the matrix. You're giving yourself purpose. You are changing the whole picture by just changing your perspective and understanding that there's good in everybody. No matter what, like I always say, man, every person is tethered to happiness. I feel like that is what we are based off of. We're all based off of excitement. Like I say, man, don't forget who made you, man. The people that were having sex to bring you here, they were excited to do it, or like I said, signing paperwork with the surrogates. They were excited to sign that paperwork. We come from excitement, so be excited about being alive, man. And that's really what it all comes down to. So don't get so caught up about, oh, I should have did this today, I should have did this, whatever, you know what I mean? You'll get to it when you get to it, and of course you're going to always, you know, have your accountability, and you're going to have your discipline, and, you know, make you help, you know, manifest the best. And like I say, man, you want some help, make sure you're hitting me up, and get at me in the BCC. Drop me a line. I'm here to help you put a program together, help you manifest, you know, everything that you want to have with this. You know, that huge piece of meat swinging at the knees, man. We're talking about manifesting into the giants we are, man. Not worrying about the gremlins at your feet. Just have that huge piece of meat swinging at the knees. Drop to the pecs. Give it a kiss. How you doing? No, not worrying about the gremlins at your feet because we're huge. Of course, not stomping on your friend's house because we're all full of love, man. We're up here, man. So like I say, man, make sure you're checking out my kid C on my Instagram. You know, he's always taking care of the neighborhood. My wolf and my bear over there, always snoozing, taking care of things, doing beautiful. And of course, man, you know, we're going to have so many more beautiful cameos and things coming this year. I'm really feeling it. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Make sure that you guys hit me up. I intend on you guys to feel some love today, spread some love today. I'll be seeing you around, man. You guys are beautiful. Peace.